In this video, I will discuss what I consider the essentials of Gordon's music learning theory. Because music education has so many different facets, it's important to get down to brass tacks, as it were. What is the essential, or what are the essential qualities of music that we need to attend to help students become musically literate? And the essential quality of music is its gestalt. And as you know, the gestalt is that big picture. The whole piece of music is greater than the sum of the parts. So all of the little rhythms, all of the little musical notes we teach children to play and sing are not as important. If we add all of those things up, they are not as important as the whole. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. One of the things that makes music so vital or so vibrant is the fact that there is life in it. And the thing, in my opinion, that gives it life is cadence. Think of Schenkerian analysis, and Schenkerian analysis is one way of score analysis that condenses all of the filigree that is on a page down to its essential being, which is movement to tonic, movement away from tonic and back to tonic in its simplest form. Think of jazz. Those simple cadences, 2-5-1. Certainly there may be a lot of suspended chords, and there may be a lot of 5 of this and 2 of 12 and blah, 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 blah. But essentially, if you strip away all of that filigree, it's 2-5-1. And even more simply, it's 5-1. Essentially, the music that we listen to is 5-1 music. And that's fine with me, and that should be fine with you. If it is 5-1 music, then the essential quality of music must be cadence. Therefore, if you can hold on to and buy into this idea that cadence is the most important structural feature of music, I think much of what we do in music education, or how we do things in music education, will become much more clear. As a way of introducing this idea to you, I will use the song Hey Jim Along, Josie, which is in the Orange Kodai book, the 150 songs, play parties. It's not Sail Away, the blue book, it's the orange volume. Ba da 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 da. Hey Jim along, Josie. Hey Jim along, Joe. Hey Jim along, Josie. Hey Jim along, Joe. Let's go back and revisit Gordon's idea of vocabulary. And I will stay with rhythmic vocabulary right now for this example. Individual notes are not important. They are analogous to letters. Certainly we need letters to make words, but words are the big unit of meaning. A word carries meaning. The word is the smallest unit that carries meaning. If that is so, then a rhythmic pattern, its equivalent in music, is the smallest unit that carries meaning. The example in front of you, bum ba ba bum bum. I took it from Jim Along Josie, yum ba ba bum bum. That carries musical meaning. And as I listen to the song in my head, it carries meaning. However, think about it this way. If I say the word peregrination, great word. How about lugubrious? Wonderful word. Without a larger context, even a word is not very useful. As important as words are, as important as rhythmic patterns are, we need something more than the simple word. We need something more than the simple pattern. And my thesis here is that it is cadence. And what cadence does for music is the same thing that meaning is for a sentence. A sentence will carry many, many words, will have many, many words in it, and carry one idea to a reader, to a listener. Likewise, an entire musical phrase that is capped off with a cadence carries musical meaning, an idea to others. The musical idea is not do-de-da-do-de. It's not ta-ti-ti-ta-ta, even though that's not written in tas and ts. The real musical example is bum pa pa bum bum pa pa bum bum ba yum pa pa bum bum pa pa bum ba yum pa pa bum bum pa pa bum bum ba yum pa pa bum bum ba ba bum bum. It drives to the final cadence. And here is where harmony serves our purpose. We can't really talk about rhythm unless we're talking about the underlying harmony, because the underlying melodic harmony is going to propel the rhythm in a way that will make sense musically. So if the cadence is important and we want to make musical sense, then Jim Along Josie has two identical phrases. Yum pa 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 dum pa pa pum pa da yum pa 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 dum pa pa pum pum. And it's repeated again. However, the song is a whole. It's one unit. It's not two units of two phrases. It's not a unit of two phrases. It's a whole thing. What distinguishes one phrase from another, and in this case they're rhythmically identical, what distinguishes the two? It is the cadence. The first phrase ends on a half cadence, unresolved, and the second cadence is a full cadence, tonic. Yum pa 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 da yum pa pum pa da yum pa 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 dum pa pa pum pa yum pa 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 dum pa pa pum pa da yum pa 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 dum pa pa pum pum. The half cadence is important because it continues the musical idea and connects the two phrases into one musical whole. Therefore, when Gordon writes, quote, "When audiating tonal and rhythm patterns, only essential pitches and essential durations as they relate to tonality and meter are attended to first." End quote. If music drives to a cadence, both a cadence rhythmically and a cadence tonally, then those things closest to the final cadence should be learned first. Just a thought, just throwing it out there. Because of the movement towards resolution, because that is so strong, if the early childhood experience or early experiences in music have been of a quality that reinforces that drive to tonic, that drive to the final cadence, then those phrases, that part of the music will be learned more easily will be able to be read more easily because it's more meaningful. Essential rhythms, essential durations have to do with those cadences. In conclusion, those of you that have been around education for any amount of time, and we've all come through public school education for the most part, you have doubtlessly heard, no doubt you have heard the perennial conversation, whole language or phonics. Which is better? Which is a better way to learn to read words? Whole language or phonics? Research is going to suggest that it takes both. Whole language and phonics. A combination of both is best. And yet when we approach reading music, even if we're approaching it from Gordon's standpoint of rhythmic patterns, as in bum ba 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 or bum ba ba, is that not a phonic approach to literacy? Whereas if you are approaching literacy in an arithmetical way, this is a half note, this is a quarter note, gets half of that. If you're doing that, you're approaching literacy at a letter, at the level of an individual letter. And we know that's not very good. And if we approach it at the word level, is that not phonics or sight word? Might we also need to incorporate whole language, which in the way I present it here will be a phrase level, presenting the whole phrase. And certainly some children are going to need phonemic awareness, letters. Some children are going to need sight words. And some children will be able to grasp the whole more easily. And if they understand the whole before they get down to the individual parts, then it will be an easier time to read. They will have an easier time at reading notation. On another video, I will further explain this idea of whole language as it relates to music reading, music literacy, and music education.